Hi, my name is Anna. I am an ICU travel nurse and first year SRNA and nurse educator. I am really excited today to talk about mentorships in nursing and why having a mentor is so important. The timestamps are going to be in the description down below. Please go ahead and subscribe and comment what you would like for me to talk about next time. I'm going to go ahead and just dive right into it. The first thing I want to talk about is the difference between a preceptor and a mentor. So your preceptor as a new graduate nurse is the one who is teaching you how to be a nurse. They're teaching you everything that you need to know day in and day out. They are watching you fail. They are watching you succeed. And they, in a lot of ways, do serve as a mentor. However, I believe that the mentorship relationship is separate from the clinical instructor or preceptor relationship. I would define a mentor as someone who you look up to and is a couple of steps ahead of you in your professional career, someone whose nursing practice you really respect and you would like to emulate, and someone who you feel safe asking questions every step of the way. So I believe that you can provide mentorship even as a fairly new nurse to someone who is coming up underneath you or after you. Where I was a new grad, I was really fortunate that we had a program set up where after you finished orientation, you were immediately a mentor to the new grads who came after you. So 8 months into being a new nurse, I had a mentee. And I learned so much through this process, just every step of the way about giving tips on communication, giving tips on time management, giving tips about patient management and what I would do in a certain clinical scenario. My former mentee, Julia, she's now also an SRNA with me. I'm so proud of her. She's incredible. And I now have two mentees, Tia and Mikaela, who I will link their links down below. They're incredible. I think that having a mentor at every step of the way along your nursing path is such a really great way to learn from people who came before you, and a really great way to improve your own nursing practice in relation to your patient care, and also to learn from people who have done the thing that you want to do, right? So when I was a new grad and I finished orientation, I asked a nurse who had been a nurse for 3 or 4 years, and she was in acute care nurse practitioner school. She has a hunger for knowledge, and she is a really excellent nurse clinically. I asked her if she would be one of my mentors because I really respected her as a nurse and I respected her hunger for knowledge, and I wanted to learn from somebody who had that added layer of knowledge, and I wanted to be able at work to go run things by her, and I also really respected her opinion, and I respect her opinion to this day. She's an excellent clinician as she's finishing up acute care nurse practitioner school. So early on, I established someone who I wanted to be my mentor, and I was able to really learn a lot from them. I was able to text them questions. I was able to ask how they would handle different patient scenarios. And then I also picked a mentor who was someone who is a CRNA. Chrissy CRNA. She's my business partner, but I also consider her a mentor. I really look up to her in a lot of ways. She has been a CRNA for 5 years, and she teaches students at clinical sites, and she has been involved in leadership at her old facility. And I think that it's really valuable to have mentors who are at different stages of or different iterations of their nursing career. So I think that you can be a mentor to someone who is a new graduate nurse with very little experience, because you are there really just to offer support throughout the really difficult growing pains of being a new grad. And then you can also seek out mentors who are in advanced practice positions, and you can also seek out mentors who have really excellent nursing practice. There's this nurse, I'll change her name. I'm gonna say her name was Helen. It's not her name, but she was a nurse at the University of Colorado, where I was working as a CNA in the CTICU. And she is one of the best clinicians I've ever seen in my life. She changed her hair every single other month. She had this pixie cut. She always had the brightest hair, and she was a light on the entire unit. She taught everyone who was going to be in her room. She was a excellent communicator to the patients and the family members. I'll never forget being a nursing student and watching her take the family member of really sick patients up to the head of the bed and telling them to talk to their patient. And she would always say, hey, they can probably hear you, and they know that you are here and that you are their family, and this does make a difference. So I'm gonna have you stand up here and talk to them, while she would be doing dressing changes, this or that or whatever. She really brought a lot of dignity to the very difficult experience of being, the family member of someone who is in the ICU. And I considered her a mentor, and I really look up to her so much, to this day. Incredible nurse. absolutely incredible nurse. So I really think it's valuable to pick mentors at every step along the way of your nursing path. So as you are a student, pick a couple of mentors, people who you can ask questions about nursing school and getting into nursing school, and which nursing school should you pick, and why should you pick this nursing school over that nursing school. And then when you're in nursing school, you need to establish a relationship with one of your professors. Get them to be one of your mentors. They don't have to have conversations all the time, but a great way to do that is to go up after class, and if it's a class that you really enjoyed, tell them that you really enjoyed the class and you're super interested in the topic. And then follow up with email later if you see like a research article, something related to something that they taught you. I still keep in touch with one of my nursing professors, who I also consider a mentor. And I sent her an update when I got off of new grad orientation. I sent her an update when I started working as a travel nurse during COVID. Professors love to hear from their students who are like still thinking of them and like, you know, doing the thing. They're taking care of people out in the real world, because professors invest a lot of time in their nursing students and they're not really paid that much for it. So pick a professor, have them be one of your mentors as well. And then if you have specific nursing goals, like you want to be a nurse educator, cool, find a nurse educator and ask them to be your mentor. You want to be an acute care nurse practitioner, awesome. I'd say reach out and then have one of the nurse practitioners be one of your mentors. I really think that it's valuable to have mentors who are people who have done the thing that you want to do. In relation to CRNA school, you should pick a mentor who is a CRNA, not somebody who is going to discourage you, who has never like gone through the process of applying and being accepted to CRNA school. So, and I think that that really holds true to life in a lot of different ways. You should pick mentors who you really respect their clinical practice. You respect how they interact with nursing and how they interact with patients and family members. And then you should seek out mentors who are in the academic world, like professors. You should seek out clinical mentors as well, and really utilize those resources and be super grateful. I'm so grateful for all of the mentors that I've had in my life. And it's kind of a short video, but I think it's really important and not really taught in nursing school that you need to have mentors. I also think that it's very important to pass mentorship along to the next generation. Mentorship is something that I'm really passionate about, and in this like moment as a SRNA, I can only mentor like 2 people right now. But I love being there for free as a resource to them, and they can text me any hour of the day to ask me a question. We can talk on the phone, and I'm so proud of all of my mentees. And I think that's something that's really valuable that you can invest in the next generation while you are also being poured into from people who have more experience in the next step of whatever is along your journey. So I think mentorship is very underrated in nursing, and I think it is so important. So I would encourage all of you to find nurse mentors. Please comment what you would like for me to talk about next. I am so excited to be digging into more YouTube, like longer form content with y'all. And yeah, please subscribe, comment what you'd like me to talk about next time. Thanks for your support.